Hey guys, and welcome to a showdown featuring the legendary Stormrunner and his Wood Elf forces up against Napguard and the Dark Elves here, the sinister, well, I would say not actually too much more evil than the Wood Elves, it depends on your perspective I suppose, but overall the more edgy of the Elves, the Dark Elves. Should be a fun game. Looks like we may actually have to pause this as there's probably going to be some very early engagements here. Over on the very left-hand flank, we have some Deepwood Scouts with SwiftShiver Shards. Stormrunner, a man of my heart here, bringing in one of the coolest units in the Wood Elf roster, which is pretty much never picked. Now, SwiftShiver Shards basically don't get picked because of their lack of range, only coming in at 135. If you look at the SwiftShiver Shard little icon here, basically their arrows are extra light, so they can fire 2 at a time, which makes them very good at shredding through chaff, particularly quickly. They do magic damage as well, but that lack of range really does kind of punish them, unfortunately. But we have 2 over here on the left-hand flank and hidden in the trees to protect them. We do have Wild Riders with shields, as well as the Wild Riders of Kurnos here, one of the coolest, if not the coolest looking unit in the game. They're a kind of orange or dark brown cloaks and shields, look incredibly cool with their ethereal eyes and blades. For the main battle line, it looks like we have Eternal Guard dotted along. Not too much as far as it goes as frontline troops, but they are going to be assisted by a Branch Wraith coming in with an Earthblood, Melkov's Mistfire Miasma, and Pendulum. And they're going to be backing up Triple Glade Guard. Looks like all of these bad boys do have the Starfire Shaft to do that fire damage and do a bit extra damage in general. Up in the skies, leading the forces, we do indeed have a Glade Lady on top of her Mighty Eagle here. Of course, coming in with the Prey of Warhammer, as well as Arrows of Kurnos. Such a cool model on top of the Eagle, the kind of armoured head of it looks particularly badass. We have double Glade Rise with Hagbane tips over on this right-hand flank as well, so pretty cool build. As for the forces of the Dark Elves, we have a massive skirmish contingent of Dark Rise with shields dotted all the way along, clearly looking to ambush any Waywatchers that the opponent is probably expecting here to push through in this centre pocket. But they are going to have a nice little feast on some Deepwood Scouts, but they do not want to tangle with Wild Riders. Even this many of them can get overwhelmed by the superior fighting prowess of the Wood Elves there. For the main battle line, it looks like we have Dread Spears mixed in with Bleak Swords here. Cheap, cheerful, there to hold the line while the rest of the army actually does the damage. And those damage dealers are going to come in the form of 2 units of Black Ark Corsairs with hand bows, as well as 2 Reaper Bolt Throwers in this central pocket. If they can protect them, these guys can do massive damage. That spread shot as well can really tear apart some of the archers the Wood Elves are going to be bringing here. We also have Bleak Swords kind of making up the backbone of that little defensive posture. We have some Cold One Knights as well. Just the one unit can go toe-to-toe very effectively up against Wild Riders because of that anti-large and superior armour. And up in the skies we do have Marathi on top of her mighty Dark Pegasus, looking as menacing as always. Coming in, of course, with her Wand, Deadly Onslaught, we have Pit of Shades and Soul Blight. Of course, she has the Heartrender and the Dark Sword, so pretty interesting build all round. We'll have to see who does come out on top here. It's going to be interesting to see if these little scouts are noticed. Of course, if they do push forward, the Dark Riders will be able to spot them. And it looks like they actually notice them straight away, dancing towards these Deepwood Scouts. And these guys instantly leg it and do some 360 no-scope, shredding a few of those Dark Riders. You can see them falling from their mighty steeds. And the Wild Riders are quick to react here. And this is a really big ambush from the very kind of start here. Ambushing the ambush almost. Really nice play by the Dark Elves though. Or maybe not. It looked like they were going to try to countercharge the Wild Riders, but instead they're really kind of pushing forward. But as you can see, one unit's already offline. Deepwood Scouts have taken a tiny bit of a hammering, but the Wild Riders getting the initial charge here is making them absolutely shred these Dark Riders to pieces. 2 units already running for the hills, a 3rd on the brink as well. And the Deepwood Scouts didn't even take that much damage. Yeah, 1 unit got down to about half health. The other one is pretty much full health here and completely fine. And there's still a ton of models in both units as well. The more Dark Riders do spring from the trees, trying to hunt down at these Deepwood Scouts, but decide, you know what, we're going to fall back. But as they attempt to do so, Wild Riders once again get the charge on them, and that massive charge bonus of 67 is some very scary stuff. And as you can see, the Dark Riders are fleeing for the hills right here, which is not too good start for the Dark Elves there. Deepwood Scouts as well both maintaining a lot of their numbers. And yeah, so many of the units just getting shattered off here. Massive early kind of mishap, I suppose, by the Dark Elves. What looked like a good situation for them very quickly turned into a bad one, showing the power of the Wild Riders here. However, some Dark Riders have managed to rally on the edge of the battlefield, but they'll probably break before they actually get a chance to come back, unfortunately for them. The two main battle lines are advancing. Looks like the Bolt Throwers are going after the Glade Lord or Glade Lady at the moment, but they'll probably switch their targeting priorities, most likely to those Glade Guard with the spread shot when they do get within range. Glade Riders with the Hagbane tips are looped around the far side of the battlefield. You can see this map is absolutely gigantic. Probably going to be looking to swoop up and around and put pressure onto those Bolt Throwers, who have now switched and are doing some pretty decent damage to the Glade Guard straight out of the gate. Wild Riders have got back into their original position in the tree line here. I'm going to be moving up pretty safe here. No one's going to be able to kind of counter-shoot them but when they're hidden within the trees. Demon Scouts as well need to get moving back to the main battlefield here. As the Glade Guard do start to open up, they're going to want to push forward and start focusing down at the Bolt Throwers. The Bleak Swords are more than happy to oblige in taking shots, and it looks like that's simply because the Glade Guard do shoot on the move, so they are actually getting into position to fire at those more key targets. And here they go, unleashing a first volley on into the Reaper Bolt Thrower. Doing some pretty good work straight away. Archers are very good up against artillery crews for the most part, kind of showing these guys, dragging them down. And in the back lines, it looks like the Glade Guard as well are slowly starting to pick away the Black Ark Corsairs, managing to outrange the hand bows there. We are going to see a frontline engagement kicking off here. Tunnel Guard will struggle to hold back the Bleak Swords, and a Pit of Shades does come down. Quite an expensive spell though, just to do damage to one unit of the Tunnel Guard, but still, it's again some okay value. And in the back line, Marathi is really starting to clear up these Glade Guard, and they're suffering quite heavy casualties now due to the Bolt Thrower crews. The Eagle Glade Lady is flying quite high and happy for now, but if she can net Marathi and get the Wild Riders in action, that'd certainly be a nice little pick. Looks like the Deepwood Scouts are currently hurrying over, but they are, of course, simply on foot. It looks like that's just what's happening here. Marathi has been brave enough at Raymond here, going to keep her in position, and the Wild Riders bursting forwards as they bounce left and right, charging towards the enemy general, really trying to hunt her down here. She's taking quite a lot of damage here from the branch wave. In comes the Glade Lady and the Hunters. That is certainly a dead Marathi there. She can pop a Soul Stealer, or it looks like a Soul Blight if she didn't actually bring Soul Stealer this time, which I always recommend bringing. It's a very good spell. Looks like the Cold One Knights did try to rescue her, but some Wild Riders have been sacrificed to pin them back, hold them in, while they do assassinate the enemy lord. But the entire time, these Bolt Throwers doing pretty decent damage as well. You are going to see an Overcast Pendulum coming down the lines, shrekking some of that frontline Dark Elf infantry. It looks like the Glade Guard have been pretty much pummeled here. There's a few units kind of dotted around, and it looks like the Glade Riders have managed to dispatch some of the Bolt Thrower crew. Things looking very good for the Wood Elves at this stage. Bleak Swords are pushing forward. The Glade Guard could honestly just simply charge in here and try to overrun these guys with sheer numbers, and then kind of carry on and drive further forward. But it looks like they may be forced back here and kind of away from the targets. But they've managed to finish off the Bolt Thrower, so still getting some pretty good value there. The SwiftShiver Shards are now unleashing a few shots into the Black Ark Corsairs, who do have that Sea Dragon cloak, but still, there's a lot of arrows coming rapid fire into the face, starting to do a decent amount of damage. Branch Wraith has popped an Overcast Earthblood on himself and some of these Eternal Guard. They were getting very beat up, danger low to break in there. The Wild Hunters do start slamming into the front line with the help of the Glade Lady here. In the back lines, once again, Bleak Swords have turned their back on these Glade Riders, and looks like they are indeed going to go in for that rear charge. Glade Riders have really decent melee stats for skirmish cavalry, and they're going to charge through here, run over these guys, and send them flying as we do come back to the main battle here. Wild Riders slowly getting whittled down and kind of pinned in by Dread Spears and dragged to their dooms, but it looks like the Dark Elf forces, although battling hard and dragging down a lot of Wood Elves, are going to be breaking from the field there. So very well played to both of these competitors. Let's go to the end stats here. So hope you guys did enjoy that battle. If you did, feel free to give the video a big old thumbs up and comment. I do read through all the comments and enjoy reading them. There's some really fun stuff. It's always good to have some good interaction with you guys. If you do enjoy this type of content, feel free to subscribe to my channel. Anyway, well played to both Napguard and Stormrunner, especially Stormrunner for sending this one in via my Discord. But did a really interesting build all round, and I'm a big fan of the SwiftShiver Shards. Although they get a lot of hate, and people don't really rate them too much at all. Personally, I have a special place in my heart for them. I think in real niche applications they can do some decent work. They didn't do the most amount of damage here. They did help kind of soften up the Dark Riders early on to allow the Wild Riders to do the dirty work, but those Wild Riders, 121 and 85 kills, destroying the Dark Riders. 5 units of these guys killed by just 2 units of Wild Riders, really showing the kind of importance of, 1, getting the charge, but 2, also kind of, you know, how much these stag riding elf maniacs outclass the Dark Riders here. Decent front line as well. The bolt throws did pretty good work to whittle down the Glade Guard. They got on top of the important targets, which was those bolt throwers in return, and a really nice net ability as well. Rather than using the net to allow Weight Watchers to snipe someone out, use the net to pin Marathe and allow the Wild Riders to come in and really do some decent damage to Marathe, who got pinned down. And if she had stayed alive, I think there definitely was a chance for Dark Elves to recover from that initial ambush, but it did certainly put them on the back foot relatively early on, and once again the Wood Elves prove they are the masters of the ambush. So guys, until next time, peace, and as always, stay awesome.